As someone who works in the judicial system and as a psychotherapist that frequently works with survivors of these sorts of crimes, I cannot sit back and say nothing about this. I was going to sit on this for a while and reflect and choose my words more carefully, but I can't. I need to get this out. I'm quite frankly shocked and appalled at this sentencing decision. So I'm basing my thoughts in this video on the actual sentencing remarks that were given by the judge. And if you didn't know, you can go to the Judiciary of England and Wales's website and see a copy of the judge's actual sentencing remarks. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to read the whole thing for yourself. It's about 15 pages and it's essentially a step-by-step process of how the judge came to their decision. So sentencing. Let's take a look at what happened. Paragraph 39. The sentence of the court is therefore as follows. Count 1, possession of 7 Cat A images, 6 months imprisonment, suspended for 2 years. Count 2, possession of 12 Cat B images, no separate penalty. And count 3, possession of 22 Cat C images and no separate penalty. So how did the judge come to this decision? Well, if we look at paragraph 35, the judge states that as a starting point, the appropriate sentences would be 12 months custody for Cat A, 4 months for Cat B and 2 months for Cat C running concurrently, so at the same time as each other. However, taking into account the mitigating circumstances, that 12 months is reduced to 9 months, and applying credit for a guilty plea, there is a further 3-month reduction, and we come to our 6-month sentence. Then a decision has to be made whether it should be a suspended sentence or not. And this is what the judge had to say. I have also carefully considered the guideline on imposition of custodial sentences and considered factors both for and against suspending such a sentence. I am of the clear view that you do not present a risk or danger to the public at large and specifically children, that the focus of the sentencing purposes should be on rehabilitation and that punishment is not only achieved by way of immediate custody, and that in fact there is a realistic prospect of rehabilitation and strong personal mitigation. In particular, your neuro-vulnerabilities at the time and your remorse, which I accept is genuine. So what do we think about that? The judge is in the clear view that Huw does not present a risk or danger to the public. Do you agree? My personal opinion, and I stress this is my personal opinion, and I do not speak on behalf of any of my professional or accrediting bodies, is that yes, I think there is a risk. This isn't just about him having some pictures, it's the whole process that has happened to allow him to get those pictures. And what has happened to those children to get those photos? Remember, a lot of them were Cat A. There's real victims here. There are real people. There are real children not being talked about. And just because Huw has been caught, that doesn't stop these same pictures from circulating. I work with adult survivors of these sort of things. I work with children who this sort of thing has happened to relatively recently in their lives. I've seen the impact. I've seen the psychological impact of these offences on people, and the reality is it has lifelong impacts. This, I feel, and again is my opinion, makes a mockery of what they have been through. The judge themselves says the continued distribution of these images perpetuates a cycle to fulfill the demand for what is going on. Victims may be aware that their images may be or are still circulating on the internet, and this can lead to feelings of ongoing traumatization. The impact of this can be severe and lifelong, with the potential for children to be re-victimized each time images are viewed. They may feel guilt, shame, self-blame, and be vulnerable to it happening again. That is an understatement. Believe me, an understatement of the impact this has on real people. I am disgusted. How do we have faith in our justice system when we have decisions like this? And I'm guessing, and I appreciate that people are entitled to their own opinions, but I am guessing that 99% of people are going to agree with me on this one. And then we have decisions where people writing Twitter or Facebook posts that are deemed to be offensive, they're going to prison. So by definition, they are apparently a threat to the public at large, more so of a threat than Huw. And not just Huw, everyone who does Huw things. How do you reconcile that? I can't in my mind. You might say that those people who went to prison for writing posts, offensive posts, was to act as a deterrent. Well, do we not want to deter people from sharing these sort of images? It just doesn't make any sense. Not to me anyway. Let me know what you think. Am I just going off on one here for no reason? Is this a me thing? Is this a me problem? Am I just not getting this? Or am I right to be thinking this way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Take care, everyone.